Hey, what's up, guys? It's Boris here, and I was actually reading the book Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Um, I'm pretty sure all you self-development guys, especially those in the RSD, have probably read it, but this passage really spoke to me, and it really got me thinking about like life in general, and it was a really good way for me to snap out of my ego state. So yeah, let me just read it for you guys real quick. As long as the egotic mind is running your life, you cannot be truly at ease. You cannot be at peace or fulfilled except for brief intervals when you've obtained what you wanted, when a craving has just been fulfilled. Since the ego is a derived sense of self, it needs to identify with external things. It needs to be both defended and fed constantly. The most common ego identifications have to do with possessions, the work you do, social status and recognition, knowledge and education, physical appearance, special abilities, relationships, personal and family history, belief systems, and often also political, nationalistic, racial, religious, and other collective identifications. None of these is you. Do you find this frightening, or is it a relief to know all this? All of these things you will have to relinquish sooner or later. Perhaps you find it at yet hard to believe, and I'm certainly not asking you to believe that your identity cannot be found in any of those things. You will know the truth for it yourself. You will know it at the latest when you feel death approaching. Death is the stripping away of all that is not you. The secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. So I hope you guys really understood that passage a little bit. So it talks about how most people in what they call lower consciousness or unconsciousness is basically to identify with what they have in their lives. For example, if one day like they don't look good in the front of the mirror, like they get upset and like their whole day is ruined. Or if like one day they lose all the money in the world, they just can't deal with who they are. If someone like if someone finds out that one of their ideologies is like false or something about them is like fake, they they freak out and they don't know who they are anymore. Um, and I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people don't achieve success, not only with women, but in the realm of professional success and I guess success with even like their friends. So personally, for me, um, before I got into like before I got into like doing pickup for a consistent basis, I would I would always think of myself as like someone who would always be like identified with the social norms, with social conditioning. Like I would every single thing, like I was actually in a fraternity in college, and the thing about like frats was like you had to wear like like the cool brands like Polo Ralph Lauren, Lacoste, fucking Vineyard Vines, and all these like rich people clothes, which I mean that's not a bad thing, but I basically bought into that like social narrative that to get the girls you have to dress like a certain way. And after I got into pickup, I realized that you don't really have to look a certain way to get girls, or do you have to like fucking like join a frat or like get into drinking. it basically taught me to like think for myself. So, I'm trying to think. I guess this video I want to kind of talk about if you how like if you're not the best looking guy, if you're a minority, if you're short, if you're like I guess if there's something like if you're like socially weird, awkward, you can all like you can still overcome that, and that's actually think of that as actually like a blessing in disguise. So sometimes what I like to do is I actually visualize myself as like a cartoon character in the field. Um, a lot of times when like I'm like fucking around, I just like say the most outlandish stuff. Like sometimes I would think I would be like, "Hey, it's I'm Boris. I'm the baby face station with a small penis." So I mean, obviously, like that's like super self-deprecating, but like if I honestly find that funny, like the girl will find that funny, and these insecurities like also you basically like call it out before they call it out. Um, I think RSD Julian talks about this. He says, "What you can't fix about yourself, you feature." So let me see here. Yeah, I know like RSD Tyler like calls him like the balding ginger troll, and he's like he says that all the time, and I feel like he doesn't just say that. Like, to be honest, he's actually like a good looking guy, he's not like ugly or any by any means. To be honest, I think he's a way above average guy, but he basically just calls it out to deal with his insecurities. And like I said, understand that you will grow as a person because of your shortcomings, since most of the guys who are already good looking don't have to work on themselves as much. I personally, for me, I had to like constantly self improve. I read like so many books, so many of these great books by these authors, and I've learned about meditation, nutrition, exercise. I've gone out and approached like thousands of women. I wouldn't be on this journey if I was a fucking good-looking guy by today's society standards. So I hope this video has helped you guys out, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.